So now I explain to you an operation. It's called cycle shift. And if we have a pattern, for example, S is 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, it's done in repetition. So we want it all the time. 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, and so on and so on. But since we do it in repetition, we could also see that we are right now looking at this pattern here. But we could also think about this pattern as 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. And it would be the same pattern. So here I got 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. And of course I could also do, let's start with the 1 here. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it's still the same pattern. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So it's just another way of expressing the same thing. So cycle shift is an operation that does transform this into that. And therefore, for example, I take this one and I shift it just once to the right. So right plus 1 for that. So I got 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. If I do another shift to the right, I end up with 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. If I now do, let's see, I go here and I shift it 2 times to the left. Then I will get back to this state, because here we have 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, then we got 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, and if we shift it another times, we got 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. Okay. And first, let's see what we conclude out of this operation. It just shifts the pattern to the left or to the right, and since we can repeat it all the time, it doesn't change anything. So it doesn't change the validness of the actual drumming pattern. It only shifts the pattern to the right or left. Since the pattern is done in repetition, it does not affect the actual pattern. It's just another way of expressing the same thing. Alright? So which way of expressing the pattern is the best for a juggler? And therefore, we already got the topic states. And if you look at the states, it makes sense to choose a specific kind of expression. So when we got, for example, our ground state 1, 1, 1. So I start here. I can do my 3, I can do a 4, and I do this. I can do my 5 here, and I can this lofty state. I can go back with a 1, and I can go back here with a 2. So I can take the pattern 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. Okay. But if I write it 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, we got a special case because this is now excited. And therefore we need transitions to get into it and out of the pattern. And we could do a 4 to reach this state in order to do 5, 1, 2, 3, And then we end up here again, so we could start with 4 and end up with a 2. So cycle shift shifts the pattern, but sometimes it doesn't make sense to shift it, or it makes more sense to use this expression, or maybe also this one, because then we can just start to jump it out of the ground state. And here we can also start from the ground state, because the 3 is going to the same state. We could also do a 4 here. Or we can do a 3 and then a 4, it doesn't really matter. But this is kind of a bad way to express it, because it's excited, and if you shift the pattern all the time and you don't find the ground state pattern, then the whole pattern is called excited.